Okay. So, as you're all aware, the blueprint for Maryland's future became law in 2021 after the state legislature overrode Governor Hogan's veto of the law. The blueprint offers us just that, a blueprint for a world-class system of public education for all students in Maryland. Over the past 7 years, Governor Hogan consistently imposed obstacles that delayed the implementation of the landmark legislation. This included vetoing the law after its historic passage, vetoing measures to raise revenue, and excluding funds slated to go to some of the state's most underfunded schools in Baltimore City and Prince George's County in the 2023 budget. Meanwhile, a report commissioned by Strong Schools Maryland shows that our state will begin to see a return on our investment a year earlier, with the total fiscal benefits outweighing blueprint costs 3 years earlier than originally projected. As a result, Maryland will graduate more students prepared for high-paying careers or college, attract new and expanding businesses to Maryland, and increase state revenue as a whole. Which leads us to our first question for our candidates. The blueprint contains myriad once-in-a-generation education reforms that improve outcomes for students, educators, families, and communities. In your opinion, what is the blueprint lacking? And how would you fill in those gaps as governor? Mr. Byrne, your time starts now.
Thank you. Thanks to B for hosting this event, this very important event on an important topic. I'm John Barron. I'm a former nonprofit executive and Clinton administration official. I founded and ran a nonprofit that worked with the Bush and the Obama administrations to advance, to increase the effectiveness of programs in education and other areas based on evidence about what actually works to improve people's lives. Education is one of the main reasons I got into this race. More than a quarter of middle school students in our state cannot read at a basic level. More than a third can't do basic math. Those numbers are no different than 20 years ago. In Baltimore, more than a quarter of kids in Baltimore never graduate from high school. What's the future for these kids? We're just perpetuating a cycle of poverty. When it comes to the blueprint, I strongly support it, but I want to point out one thing. The last time we did this, 20 years ago with the Thornton Commission, Maryland saw a major rise in education spending during the 2000s, about a 40% increase in spending per pupil. It did not, according to the Kirwan Commission, improve student outcomes. The reason is fairly straightforward. Many education programs, even well-meaning programs, just don't work. They just don't work to improve student outcomes. This time, in implementing the blueprint, the thing we need to focus on, and that I would focus on as governor, is implementing programs that have actually been tested in the real world and shown to make a big difference in people's lives. My top priority under blueprint would be to expand high-quality tutoring, for example, to every struggling first and second grader in the entire state of Maryland, because that's been shown to move them up toward grade level early, before the problems get serious in later grades. We'll do it by recruiting people from the community to become tutors.